Welcome into Patriots Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper, and you can see right here, all behind me, it's Super Bowl week opening night. Yeah, we are here throughout the whole entire week, giving you guys coverage from Monday all the way leading up until Super Bowl Sunday. So you're going to want to make sure to hit that sub button to get all up-to-date news, rumors, analysis, interviews with the players. You know we don't usually get to do that here on the channel, so make sure you sub it up. Throughout this entire wild night, I think my biggest takeaway is just how much the players just enjoy being here. You could know by the tone of talking to every single player that was here, it's a lot different than what we saw 7 years ago when the Patriots were going up against the Los Angeles Rams. They knew it was business. This time it's also kind of knowing it's business, but they're here to have fun. You saw Drake Maye at the podium answering questions about what his favorite cookie is made by Ann Michael May, talking to Stephon Diggs, just seeing how his journey has gone. And I asked a question to Milton Williams of who has the more rowdier fans, Philly or Boston, and he gave a pretty good answer. But I know the first question that everybody was asking Drake Maye was talking about his shoulder injury, because we've been talking about on this channel pretty much every single day. And they had a bonus practice earlier, they practicing at Stanford, and he talked about it. He said, I feel great. I get to throw a little bit more than he did last week because obviously he missed practice on Friday. And he says he feels fine. He is going to be playing on Super Bowl Sunday no matter what. If you watch the videos, watch the clips on Twitter, he was walking out of the plane with it in his right arm, so he knows that he's going to be ready. I think the biggest person that I would like that we talked to today was probably, I gotta say it was Milton Williams, because he talked about just the leadership that he has been here, because he's been to 3 Super Bowls now in his last, I think, 5 seasons, and how much of a leader he has shown to be for this Patriots team. He knows exactly what it's like to play in the Super Bowl. He specifically talked about how, yeah, I got my tears of joy out last year when we beat the Kansas City Chiefs, and I also had my tears of sadness when we lost to the Chiefs those years ago. And this year, once we won the AFC Championship game, it was all business for me. Like, I got my little joys out, but after that, it was kind of just, we're ready on to the next one. Also, talked to a bunch of different players. I'm trying to think of exactly. Yeah, I talked to Drake Maye just about what he said, specifically talking about what it's like to kind of when he wants to run and when he wants to pass, kind of talking differently about that. And, you know, the big one, probably my favorite interview of the whole entire media night, talking to Efton Chisholm and just the journey that he has come throughout all of OTAs, all of minicamp, preseason. It has been a fun time. And I did ask him the one question. He didn't want to really answer it, but comparing himself to Edelman, comparing himself to Amendola, and he was really excited about that one. And talking to Rhamondre Stevenson, he seems a lot more confident going into this game than he has been at the beginning of the season. We know that during the week 1, during week 2, and week 3, specifically against the Steelers game, he fumbled a lot of balls, but he's running at his best of his career back in 2022. And I think that he's going to have a big game. I don't know if it's going to be Travion Henderson. I'm kind of expecting him to get like 10 snaps in this one, but I have a big feeling Rhamondre's going to have a big game. I really, really, really do. And it's just very exciting to be here talking to all the players. So make sure you hit that sub button, guys. We're going to be covering it every single day here. We have media availability with the players throughout practices, talking to Coach Vrabel, talking to Drake Maye, talking to everybody else. And I think I should just throw it to just what everything was fun about and just talking to the players themselves.
But who's your hero?
My hero. I think my hero would be probably my older brothers. I think my heroes, just living up, growing up with them, having somebody, that's that close to me, kind of live their own lives, and me just learn from them, and be the youngest brother and have the opportunity to kind of have something to chase. I was chasing my older brothers, they all had a passion. I was just trying to find a passion for myself that I can kind of follow them and have there be football down here.
Of course, I anticipate being out there. I've been doing everything required of me to make sure that I'm where I need to be today. Tomorrow, I'll be where I need to be, and Wednesday, we'll practice and go from there. And I love being in such a great organization with a training staff that really cares for me and wants to do everything I can to help me get back out there.
The biggest thing is definitely going to be stopping the run. They definitely want to try to establish the run, so for us, we got to go in there and stop the run, force them into obvious passing situations, and then we just got to make the plays when they're there to make.
Everybody's going to be a little nervous or anxious, but at the end of the day, once you get that first hit and kind of get going in the game, I mean, it's still another football game. And, you know, at the end of the day, you just got to execute your job and try to play at a high level. And you're still doing it with the guys who've been doing it all year. So I think that's the important part, is just lean on your brother, lean on the guy next to you, and just continue to attack him. And, you know, things aren't always going to go our way in the game, and they haven't gone our way all, you know, throughout games all year. So you just got to be able to go and bounce back and just keep playing.
Crazy, man. I mean, it's a dream come true. It's something that you dream about as a little kid, you know. You do the intros, and I used to do the intros in the room with my little brother about Super Bowl and everything, and the fact that it's now a reality is honestly so surreal.
New England showed me they wanted me more. They believed in me more. They believed in, you know, who I am and what I bring to the table. So they showed that. You know, talking to Coach Vrabel, you know, his plan for me, you know, and this organization, you know, winning, knowing that what winning looked like, been there, done that multiple times. I wanted to be a part of that.
I've been confident this whole season. No matter what I was going through and things like that, I still carried that chip on my shoulder. I knew what I could do, and I think it's just all working out for me now, bro.
England is probably more passionate, but Philly fans, like, they don't care about that. Like, they gonna do whatever. They gonna. It's like it's even, but like I feel like the Patriots fans, they don't want to get in trouble. Philly fans, they don't care about that. They don't care if they go to jail or do whatever.
Authentic and true to who he is. He loves his players, and he always has. He's willing to do whatever it takes to win and to help his players succeed. So that all has remained consistent with him. I would say he's even just put more emphasis on relationships and getting to know people than he did in the past. And even though he made that an emphasis in the past, he makes it more of an emphasis now. Getting to know people, getting to care about what you care about as a player. And for me, that being my family and my young daughters. And when I walk in the building, he says, how are the girls doing? You know, just little things like that to show that he really cares about his players.
Being able to keep that same mentality that I started out the beginning of the year with, and just bouncing back after that, after drives. I threw a pick six in Cincinnati, and we went down there and scored the next drive. I've had some plays where I wish I had back, and just trying to be that player in the big moments that wants the ball and wants to make plays and help the team win.
Talked a little bit to Amendola. Edelman came to one of our practices early on in OTAs, so just kind of nice when you got those guys that have done it, and you know you can look at their film and see what they did to do it, and you know try to do your best to emulate that, but also become the best version of yourself.
It's important for us, but I don't know if I certainly was not the catalyst for it. Yeah, I think it's been a fun thing for us to continue to just push that road warrior mentality, whatever it is. I think every team has something that if you get this far, that you kind of stand behind, and that seems to be what we stand behind.
Marcus, what Seahawks receiver are you most excited to go against on Sunday?
All of them.
Every single one? You're not going to pick one?
No, I'm not going to pick one. All of them.
Love it.